This broadcast is a presentation of WCXO Sports. WCXO Sports. Since 1999, the sports voice of the Carlisle Indians, the Central Cougars, the Mater Dei Knights, and the Westland Warriors presents Talkin Sports on Max 96.7. Talkin Sports is powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin Sports is brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in Centralia. Kaskaskia College. The future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon. Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman. Seaver Brothers in Carlisle. And by Becker Jewelers, with locations in Breeze and Highland, and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Here's the host of Talkin Sports, Rip Nottmeyer.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Talkin Sports. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. On the way tonight, we'll have a delayed version of Scores and Stuff with Jay Miller. Later on, it's Nashville Hornets hoops coach Wayne Hari. And, of course, as always, on a Wednesday with the Easy and Travel Sports Flashback, it features football's Brad Coons. But off the very top, tonight, we hunker down for, well, let's go to the Tucker Electric guest line for Oakville Rockets basketball coach John Krause. John, welcome back.
Good to be back, Rip. How are you?
I'm doing just fine, and so is your team. You're off to a good start for 2017 and 18. Ahead of the tournament talk, John, maybe flash back to last night first, and I saw where you didn't see much info or anything, but you blasted off against Cesar Velour.
Yeah, we had a good night last night. Long bus trip down to Cesar. And, good basketball team with a good atmosphere to play in, good crowds always, and got off a little slow start, got behind 9 or 10-2, something like that, but then really kind of got our feet wet and got in there and really started guarding, rebounding, and ended up winning, 20, 25 points, I think. But our guys really focused in on the defensive end. And once we got locked in, we played a real good ball game. Yeah,
58-35 was the final, so you held them to a mere 35. And I would imagine once you got control of things later in the game, whenever, chances are you had several players register some numbers in the scorebook.
Yeah, we did. Will Obel got us off on a good note last night. He had like 18, I believe. And,
wow.
Peyton Hari had 10. Caleb King, I think, had 9 or 10. Luke Hensler, 9 or 10. I mean, we got the one thing that I like about our group is we got some guys we got guys that are capable for going for 18 or 20 every night, but we're going to be pretty consistent with 10 to 12 from 3, 4, 5 guys every night. I think that's always good. You bet. Some balance. And you are now 4-1. You won 3 of 4 at the Kaskaskian Classic in Carlisle. You took second place there Saturday night. You ran up against the Pinktonville Panthers. Your club is always good, and so is that squad down there in Peeville. Yeah, I tell you what, I don't know. I guess we'll see as the year goes, but I'm not so sure we'll find anybody on our schedule as good as those guys.
Big. Some high praise early.
They are. Yeah, I know it's early, and it's hard to say sometimes. Yeah. But I'll tell you what, when they play 12 guys as deep as they got, and they're all about the same abilities, and they are, it would not surprise me to see them go to pretty far in the season before they lost, and if they do lose. They are that talented, and I think they're that good.
What was the real key or keys to that game? I know they knocked you off by 13. I didn't get a chance to see that. Were you in it for a while there, John, or what happened? How did it proceed?
The first quarter, I think it was like maybe 10-6 after 1 or something like that. And, they just physically and just wear you out with their bench, and they full court press nonstop. And we're not real deep this year, and at least not yet. We have to find some depth through the season as we go. We'll have to figure out some guys that can help us. But, they just wore us out over time, and they started making some shots that we were giving them. And they're just, slowly I think they got ahead maybe 12 or 14 at half, and we cut it to maybe 8 or 9 at some point late, but we just couldn't get over the hump. They just had too many bodies for us. But honestly, it was one of the better games we played all year. I thought our kids were locked in, and we played really well. It's one of those games where we got a lot out of it. Our kids really learned how to compete, really learned how to play 4 quarters and what it's going to take to beat really good teams. And it's one of those games where just a good tournament game early for us.
You paired it to 8 or 9, like you said. You just couldn't get that next important basket, could you, John?
No, they just kept. Every time we made a little bit of any kind of run, 4 or 6 point run, they'd turn right back around, hit 2 threes, or get some transition going, or get a steal, and right back, right back to where it was. We just could never get over that hump.
I thought it was a pretty evenly matched tournament. A lot of close games, 2 3-point decisions, and so forth. And it's good to see. I'm a Carlisle High grad, but I'm glad to see the Kaskaskian that the Classic has really grown, matured over these last few years. It was on death's door there for a while, and things have really done a 180.
Yeah, I think it's really helped. Those guys, Andy and Joe and Darren, they do a great job of running that tournament. They treat everybody with, first class, and they got some good teams. Like you said, this year it was really evenly balanced, I thought there was, I think in general, if you asked every coach in there, Pinieville was the head of the class. I don't think there was any question about it. But after that, those other 7 teams, anybody could have beat anybody on any given night. And if you got that kind of mixture in your tournament, it's fun. It's fun for the coaches. It's fun for the kids. And you learn a lot about your group, and that's what those early tournaments are for.
Good for the fans as well. Caleb Frederking earned all tournament honors.
Yes, he did. Him and Luke Hensler both.
Okay, Luke too.
All tournament.
Okay.
Yeah, Luke did too. Luke's been really good for. He's probably averaging a double-double for us almost every night.
Wow.
He's getting 13, 14 rebounds, and his length has been a key to us on defense and rebounding. And Caleb's running the point for us and doing a lot of good things. So we just got a good mixture going right now, and I think we're going to get better every game. And I think that's the key as you go through the season. You hope. And I just think with this group that we have, once they figure out their role and how we're going to handle things as the season goes on, by February, I think we'll be difficult to deal with.
Caleb is one of the remaining Frederick Kings, of course, and 5 other seniors are gone from last year's state tournament roster. How's Caleb, number 1, doing down at Evansville? I have not checked yet.
You know what? Noah's he's actually starting for them now.
Yeah.
In the last 2 or 3 games, he's been starting, and he's doing extremely well. Last night, I talked to him a little bit. He had 14 points last night in the start.
Hey.
He is really doing well. I think the coaches are extremely pleased with him. Their leading scorer, the guy that plays in front of him, broke his foot, and it gave Noah an opportunity to find some minutes, and he's taken advantage of it so far, and hopefully he'll continue to do that. I know he's working hard, and I think things are going real good for him, so we're happy to hear that.
Well, very good. Yeah, you never want to see anybody injured, but as is anybody. You want to step in and do the job and hopefully continue those minutes when the guy returns. So good for him. Right. And I know Shane, he's over at KC. I've seen him play.
Yep. Shane's doing well. It's all play early in the season. Trying to find some time to get over there here shortly before break. But, Shane's doing well. He's working hard, and he'll continue to work hard.
Oh, last year, and you've had some, but that was one tremendous club, wasn't it? The Class 1A state runner-up, and you lost by a nose in that championship contest.
We did. It was a great year, a lot of fun, a lot of good memories from that team and that group, and things that you'll never forget as a coach. And like I said, one short, but I wouldn't trade those. Especially that last month of the season. If you can ever get to experience that as a coach, it is a blast. It's something I'll never forget.
We've talked about a tiny few of those really contributing for your club this year. John, who else are you depending on? And like you say, you've got still have some minutes back from last season, but and you want, as every team does, you want to progress and get more help from the bench as you go along, and that's all going to come together.
Yeah, we back from last year, 3 guys that played, I would say, minutes for us last year at critical times. And Luke Hensler played for us, 6'7" senior. Like I said earlier, he's probably getting a double-double for us every night. 10, 12 points, 10, 12 rebounds. He's just really done a lot of good things for us, and really been a good player for us the last couple of years. Caleb Fairking, obviously, we talked about him a little bit. He's running the point for us. And then Peyton Howry, who's playing our wing for us. He can also play the point guard if we need him to. Really good shooter. He saw significant time last year towards the end of the season for us on the floor. So those three guys are our, three guys that are seniors that we rely on. Tyler Reisner played a little bit, for us last night. He's a senior as well. Those are our four seniors. Then we have some juniors. Wyatt Croney, really good shooter, left-handed kid. Saw a lot of JV minutes last year for us. And Will Obel, 6'3", junior. Probably, those two guys, and then, in particular, those two guys, and then Lane Schilling, 6'1", post player for us, who just does everything, takes charges, does all the dirty work. And those three guys as juniors, probably would have played on a lot of varsity teams last year, to be honest with you. We just didn't have a lot of, we played them at times, but just, they got so many minutes on the JV and so much valuable experience and practice that, they've stepped right in this year. And it's just a matter of time before they adapt to the speed of the game and the pace. And once that stuff starts to slow down, you can already see it. Will Otwell had 18 last night. Lane Schilling, I think, had 12 in the championship game at Pinckneyville.
Very good.
Yeah, so it's, those guys in particular. And then, we're just trying to find a couple more guys, in there somewhere that we can fill in with. And if we can do that, to give those guys a minute, two here and there, that's going to make our club that much better.
Did you lose a big kid? I was told you had somebody around 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, we lost the Kirkland Meyer kid from last year. He was a 6'5" athletic kid. He's actually playing down at Southeastern in Harrisburg right now. So we'll get the chance, hopefully, to watch him come up this way against KC at some point. But, 6'5" kid we lost down there. We did lose a kid this year he'd be a junior, probably would have played a little bit for us. Peyton Riekman's his name, and he tore his ACL right before the season started. So he'll be out for the year, but
that's what I'm thinking.
He was one of those kids. He was one of those kids that would have played some minutes for sure, and one of those guys that you can rely on to be there to do the right things. And it's just a bad break for him, and he's one of those kids that's really tearing him up. But he'll battle through it, he'll fight through it, and he'll be back next year for us.
This is year number 18, John. How's that possible?
Not real sure yet. It's always this time of year when seasons start and tournaments come around where you got to turn in information to programs and stuff like that. And every time I write that next year down and, stuff like that, I just am amazed how fast time has gone by. And now I start to see all these kids I've coached starting to get married, started having kids, and that's when it really starts to register for me. But it's gone fast. It's been a lot of fun, and so many years and so many good, fun memories of teams, whether they won 8 games, 9 games, 10 games, or 30 games. I can always go back and look at a picture, and I can find memories right away of those group of kids, and that's what it's all about.
2 other things. I thought it was a great gesture by you to have your team attend a certain funeral visitation Sunday night to support a teammate. You mentioned Lane. That's what it's all about. I mean, I really thought that was great.
Yeah, that's, it's one thing that, and I would assume that happens around this area quite a bit with the close-knit communities that we have around here. But, those are just the little things that we try to teach kids. Those are life lesson things. Those are things that mean a lot to Lane and Lane's family. And those are things they won't forget, and hopefully our kids don't forget that we're a family and we support each other and we're going to be there for each other, whether it's a great time at the state tournament or whether it's a downtime and a death in the family. That's what high school sports is for, and that's what it's about. The wins and losses are great, but if we can teach kids to respect and to do those sorts of things, they're the right things to do. That's what it's all about. I think that's what our job as coaches and teachers is all about.
Amen, indeed. And finally, are you about to watch your daughter play?
I am. I'm headed over to Breeze to watch my daughter play in the Clinton County 8th grade junior high conference tournament tonight. So I got one daughter in Sparta playing freshman JV game and one daughter over here. So I'm going all the time. It's nonstop. And being athletic director, it's rare that I get a night at home, but that's okay. I enjoy it. I love it. I love sports, and it's something I enjoy doing.
Heck, you pretty much have a full-time job, John.
I do. It keeps me busy, and it keeps our family on their toes, that's for sure. And my other daughter and I, I'm going this way, and so we split duties a lot, and my wife takes care of a lot of duties that I'm not around for. So like you said earlier, it takes your family and everybody to be a part of it, and that's what it's been for me.
All right. Well, it's all good. Yeah, I was thinking of Chloe, and there's another. Yeah, okay, very good. So
she's in high school playing JV ball tonight. So I've missed a couple of her games already, but I'll catch enough of those. So I'm headed this way tonight to watch my younger daughter play. So
you got it. Well, thanks for the opening tip from you this year. We'll definitely keep you on the radar, okay? We'll see you over at Breeze MD, if not sooner.
All right. Thanks for having me on, Rip. Appreciate it.
Thank you. John Krause, the coach of the Oakville Basketball Rockets. We're going to dial up scores and stuff after these.
Need insurance? Insurance you can really count on? If so, turn to Dan Imming at Imming Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Dan and his staff will provide you with the insurance coverage and service you deserve. Whether it's auto, home, life, health, or commercial, your choices aren't limited either. Imming Insurance Agency represents many outstanding companies, so get covered by the best. Call Imming Insurance Agency at 594-4536 or stop by 589 9th Street in Carlisle. Imming Insurance Agency, a proud supporter of Clinton County sports.
Reverman Chiropractic in Breeze would like to say thank you to our patients, staff, and local healthcare professionals for their continued support and cooperation as we celebrate 10 years in business. At Reverman Chiropractic, our focus is to work with you, the patient, and your other healthcare providers to deliver the best and most effective care possible. Please take advantage of our evening and weekend hours and call 526-4700 to schedule an appointment with Dr. Craig Reverman or Dr. Travis Isaac.
Farmers State Bank is dedicated to the communities they serve. They've been making home loans for over 100 years. They are and will continue to be a strong, steady, common-sense leader that's always focused on what's best for you and the community. And remember, Farmers State Bank has loan professionals standing by to assist you in making the right decision for your needs. That's Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City, and Hoyleton. An equal housing lender, member FDIC, NMLS number 404955.
Visit Breeze Motors to find the perfect car, truck, SUV, or CUV that fits your lifestyle and your budget. Breeze Motors is offering new 2016 Ford vehicles and a wide selection of pre-owned units. Breeze Motors has kept your vehicles in tip-top shape with genuine Ford parts in their service department for over 100 years. On Old Route 50 West in Breeze, visit breezemotorsales.com. Breeze Motors, your family dealer since 1913.
I'd like to start a campaign to blow the buttons off people's radios. Is that realistic?
This is Max 96.7.
Welcome back, everybody. Rip here at the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. We've heard from John Krause of the Oakville Rockets. Later on, we'll tee up Wayne Hart from the Nashville Hornets. Yes, this Washington County night on Talkin Sports. We've also got the flashback, but we are going to dip over to the east side now. Over to Centralia in Marion County we go for one of our finest, as in referees, Jay Miller. Jay, welcome back.
Well, hey, thanks for having me, Rip.
And I might as well, yes, he's another former broadcast partner of mine. You know, if you live long enough, you go through a bunch, don't you, Jay?
You sure do. You sure do. I can remember when years ago we started doing a little basketball together, and wow, how time flies.
You know who won, or maybe our first game together was? It was the Carlisle Indians and Tom Michael here.
I think so. At
Harris Gymnasium. I don't recall the opponent at the time, but that was one of the, in fact, we did the state championship game that March, didn't we?
Yes, we did. And I think we possibly did a game when they played Springfield Cavalry over at Mater Dei. I remember that one.
Oh,
that was
yes.
Game with Rennie Clemens.
Rennie, the future Illini.
Yeah.
I think Rennie was about 28 years old at the time.
I think so.
He played at the Centralia Holiday Tournament as well, didn't he?
Yes, he did. They came down and played a year, and I think Centralia played them like in the second round. And,
yes.
They got in a little bit of foul trouble.
Yes.
Coach Drew tried to play the big kid with 3 fouls, and he ended up getting his 4th in the second quarter. So.
And who was that? McGrath? Was that his?
I think it was McGrath or McNabb or something. I don't know. I can't remember.
It could have been. I'm not sure, but I think his dad played pro football or something. Whoever it was now, but
yeah, well, he was a pretty good sized kid. He could have played too.
Well, let's start with a little college football and go for there. I'm pumped about college football now. I've trashed the NFL myself, Jay, but the the selection committee made its choices. Well, they only had to make one choice. The first three were cut and dry in Clemson, Oklahoma, and Georgia, but they went with Bama. I'm not going to really, although I think the Big Ten and even Pac-12 got a little dissed there, but that's the way we're going, and they are four good teams, any way you slice it.
Well, yeah, and talking about that, I would like to see it go to 8 teams.
It has to.
The Power 5 conferences, they all get at least one representative and then 3 at large. But
exactly.
Yeah, this year I think that loss to Iowa, Ohio State's loss to Iowa, kind of weighed in on the reason why they didn't get in.
That was probably, but I still, and actually I like watching Alabama play, and I like the SEC, but I'm Big Ten number one. But that aside, I think you need to be playing that last weekend. Alabama gained ground by not playing. And on top of that, Ohio State did win the championship. Well, one thing about Wisconsin didn't get any respect all year long.
No, they didn't. And, they were talking about their schedule not being strong. But still, when you go undefeated and you get to the conference championship, you're pretty good.
Yeah.
But, look at Auburn. Auburn had 3 losses, but they were all to top 10 teams. I mean, give the SEC credit. They deserve to have it, one in there for sure.
Oh, definitely.
But I would have liked to seen the Big Ten have a representative myself.
Well, it will be good. The Big Ten actually had 5 teams among the top, 25 through 21, the SEC 4 for what it's worth. But anyway, it's all good, and I'm looking forward to the playoffs. And one Big Ten team, of course, that came up just a little bit shy was the Illini. Oh, man.
What can you say? He's playing a lot of freshmen and some sophomores, and his key players were injured most of the year. But still, it's year number 3 up there. You got to give him another year or so and see if he can turn it. But it's not looking good right now.
Not at all. Zip and 9 and 2 and 10, and I realize and I know I keep hearing, and it could be the facts, the truth. A lot of good players coming in. Of course, you hear that. The thing is, though, I have a feeling that Ohio State and Wisconsin, some of these other teams are recruiting pretty well also, so it's kind of hard to catch up.
Oh, yeah, and then there's Michigan that's recruiting.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talent in our state and in the Chicago area, and if we could keep some of those kids in state, I think it's just like basketball. If we could keep them in Illinois, just think how many Final Fours Illinois could go to.
Missouri, the Mizzou Tigers, of course, all excited. They're going. That's fine. They go to the bowl game. Good for them. And now they lost Josh Heupel. I wonder if Drew Lock, their quarterback, he's got an arm. I wonder if he's going to stay or if he's going to go. I would think he'd hang around another year. Man, you got Mayfield and Darnold and so many high quality QBs coming out. I don't know.
I know. I would test the water a little bit and see what it's going to be like. But yeah, he's quite a player, and his stock could go up if he came back and had another good season like he had this year.
Then again, he might be thinking like, I do, where how in the world did we win 6 games in a row? I better get out while the getting's good.
Yeah, the media over in St. Louis, they were ready to jump into the river, and then these guys kind of turned it around, and now they're all back on that wagon over there at Mizzou. Which I do, in part I'm saying there were some bad teams in the SEC too, and that proves it right there. Yeah, and a lot of those bad teams are looking for coaches today. Oh. Well, Tennessee, that's a joke. Tennessee, that's the strangest story I've ever heard. Especially for a school that's been, football top notch for many, many years, and now they got Fulmer back, who they ran out of town years ago, and it's all. They may be calling you next. This is ridiculous. It's funny. I know it. It's pathetic. It is kind of funny. They have a guy hired, and next thing you know, they reneged on it, and then they fire the athletic director. Like you said, Fulmer's back in, and I don't know. Don't get in a hurry now. Take your time and try to find your guy if you can get somebody to come there. Yeah, there have been a couple of really good coaches who've turned down a lot of money, including, was it Gundy from Oklahoma State, $6-7 million a year, and Grace Schiano, from everything I've seen, first of all, they let the people on Twitter dictate that he was not going to be a coach, which is
way out of the mainstream for one thing, but he didn't have anything to do with that scandal at Penn State or anything anyway. They probably missed out on a pretty good guy who did a super job at Rutgers.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And if you're going to worry about the fans, then you're going to end up sitting with them, and that's what happened to this athletic director. He should have stayed stuck with his guns and brought him in and tried to let him turn it around.
Willie Taggart, he is now coaching at Florida State for at least a year. He's everywhere. It's nuts how this. I don't like this aspect of college football at all. The way the coaches just zoom from one place to another constantly.
Boy, there's a lot of money in that college football. You're seeing it with all these contracts. It's just unreal.
Arkansas finally got their guy.
Yeah, and then you got to pay these assistant coaches well too. I mean, that's the key to your program right there. They're the ones that do a lot of the teaching. They get out and get a lot of the players, but it's just unreal. And I think if they went to 8 teams in college football playoff, I think that would be ideal.
Yes.
Let all your Power Fives have one representative and do that a large thing. And it's just one extra weekend, and just think of all that money that you'd be bringing in there.
That's another reason it will happen. But yes, and that you will automatically award the conference championship. Otherwise, why have the games besides, of course, Bucks again? So you have the 5 conference championship winners and then 3 at large. You could even go to, I wouldn't care. I mean, you could even go to one team outside of that Power 5 if you want as an at large. UCF in the past, we've had some pretty good teams who, the so-called small schools. But it's going to happen, Jay.
Exactly. A few years ago, Northern Illinois was in that situation. They went undefeated and
Western Michigan last year.
They just played a big bowl game, but they could have probably been in the playoffs if they'd had 8.
Anything you want to say about the NFL? I saw where Roger Goodell, who, as far as I'm concerned, in my lifetime is the most incompetent, incapable, and ignorant commissioner in sports history. Somehow he gets 4 years and $200 million, and he's attempting a sports suicide for the NFL. I don't understand it at all.
I know it. I saw that today, and I'm thinking, what the heck? And I'm not a big Dallas Cowboy fan or a Jerry Jones fan, but I've liked how Jerry has stood up to him and fought against him and everything. But it just goes to show you that the owners, he's going to give the owners whatever they want, and and like you said, they're losing attendance, and they're losing. I haven't even turned a game on this year.
I watched parts of the first couple. And then when it blew completely, that was completely it. That's it. I'm done with it.
I did hear a rumor the other day that somebody said the Rams are good.
Yeah, well, at least they're good in this in the NFL. I'm not sure how good the NFL, and that's been the quality of the NFL too. The play's been lousy to last, especially 4 or 5 years. For one thing, of course, there aren't nearly enough quarterbacks.
I know it.
Not even close.
Yeah, there's that one quarterback still out there looking for a job, from what I hear.
The
one that started everything.
Yeah, well, and that's the whole thing where I blame Goodell for everything. He could have nipped that in the bud day one.
He sure could have.
But he sat on his A and let it go to Potts. So and he gets, oh my goodness. Okay, where's where's Mike Stanton going to end up?
Man, I kind of hope he's in a Redbird uniform. I know the Giants are trying to make another pitch and see what they can give for him, but it looks like St. Louis has the best prospect for the Marlins. If the Marlins can get him to come to St. Louis, I think that'd be a great deal.
That's the thing. He's got the call. This is the weirdest situation. It's like a free
agent.
It's nuts.
I can't see the Dodgers stepping in. I just can't see them coming in and getting him. But I would just like to see him sign with St. Louis. And if he doesn't, then it's time to go to Plan B and get somebody in there that can hit in the cleanup spot.
If I were the Dodgers, I wouldn't even make a play for him. I think they're in pretty good shape right now. They don't need another huge contract and more luxury tax and everything else. They're paying off enough deadbeats over the last couple of years.
Yes, they are, and then they made some good trades this year to get to the World Series. But yeah, I just hope the Cardinals can land somebody here, and I still have faith in our Birds. I think they can win another one here in the next couple of years if they get a couple of the right players.
By the way, I think Stanton's going to be on Miami's roster at the start of next season.
Could be.
I don't believe they're going to get.
I think Plan B may be one of his teammates.
Well, yeah, exactly. Which may not be a bad course either. But no, he's a tremendous. He's a difference maker. Although, is he going to hit 59 home runs every year? I don't think so. But anyway, no, I would never turn him down. They still need some pitching, though, Jay.
Exactly.
I mean, how many guys do they have that they can count on? 1, 2, 3 starters.
Yeah, Wayno's I think washed up and gone, but yeah, they got to hope that a few of these youngsters can step in and help that rotation.
Of course,
we got one of them coming off of a big injury.
Well, I know.
So hopefully he can step back in.
Yeah, Reyes and stuff. But I'm really interested in seeing where this Japanese player is going to go. He's a hitter, pitcher, everything else. We had Spencer Patton on from Ken Monday the other night. I'm sure you may even know Spencer, but he, of course, had his first full year in Japan this year, and he threw against him one time, and he says he's as advertised. He's really some athlete.
Is this the guy that eats the lizards?
No. That's Miles Mikolas, I guess you pronounce his last name. He's an American who played over there, and yes, he ate one lizard in the bullpen. So the Cardinals do have a guy who devoured a lizard. That's
okay.
That's a tie
I was a little confused. I was a little confused there. I haven't really followed much except the Stanton thing. So it's good that they've got it. And you say he's from Japan?
The Shohei Ohtani is the actual Japanese native who's only 23, and he's a pitcher and he's a hitter, and he wants to come over, and he's going to come over, and he's a free agent. He's going to make his choice.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
I hope we can land him.
He's already got narrowed down to 7 teams, and it's all West Coast and possibly Chicago. And chances are it's going to be an American League team where he can end up doing some DHing. I mean, he's serious about playing almost all the time.
That's awesome.
The Blues, they ended a little skid last night. Braden Shen, for now, is the most valuable player on this team without question in my mind.
He has definitely been a great addition to the Blues. You know, the Blues get off to such a great start that first month, and now they're kind of falling back with everybody, but the Central Division is just so strong.
It is, especially since Winnipeg has decided to win games again. I'm glad to see the Jets are winning, but yeah, I mean the Preds, Jets, St. Louis, Dallas, Chicago's always around the corner. You know, Minnesota, same thing. Everybody's 500 or better.
Yeah, and the Blues are starting to get a few of the players back that were injured.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, at the start of the year, everybody was worried with the injuries, what would happen, and these guys have stepped it up, and it's just been awesome. They've been giving some good goaltending too. I mean, you got to give credit there.
Definitely, yeah.
But the Predators looked pretty good when they were in St. Louis just around Thanksgiving. So they're pretty physical.
Yeah, they are, and it's going to be the playoffs will be something when that bolts around. Just time for a little college basketball. The Illini, I don't have much hope. Although Big Ten's probably a little weak, but I don't know. I'm for them, of course, but 2 close losses so far, overtime defeats, huh? In the conference.
I tell you what, I think we've got a good coach up there, and he gets a lot out of what he's got. But they've had a couple, you know, the Northwestern game and the Maryland game, they're in it, and they had a couple mistakes down the stretch on the road at Northwestern. They should have won that ball game. And then the other night against Maryland, they get down 22 points and they come back.
Yeah.
And they get the lead, and the alley-oop pass.
Whoops.
I mean, you don't try that there, and that's where the game where the Illini kind of lost it, I thought.
And they had the Wildcats really the entire game, didn't they?
Yeah, it was back and forth, and but you know we're missing a post player. If they could get a post player here in the next year or two with all these young guards that they have, I think we'll be back in competing in the Big Ten again.
And that's one thing, Jay, where that recruiting, boy, it can turn on a dime, man. It only takes one really good player to come in, or 2 if you want to. But I mean, it doesn't take much to switch the landscape in college, in any basketball, any level.
That's right. And if a few of the Chicago boys decide to come down south, that would be great.
Yeah, just take a couple crumbs, you know.
Exactly.
All right, Jay, man, appreciate it. Where are you next, this weekend or before that, refereeing?
Well, your next guest that you're having on, I'm probably going to see him Friday night.
Friday night? Okay. Are they at home? I have the schedule in front of me somewhere. I think they have Sparta. No, I'm ahead of my Anna Jonesboro. Yeah.
Yeah, and I had Anna Jonesboro down at the Goreville tournament, and right after their good football season they had, they stepped on the floor, and they're playing some pretty good basketball right now. So I know Wayno's probably studying some film on them. I saw one of his assistant coaches down there getting a look at them. So, but hey, I think Wayne's got a young team and getting his system in there, and I think Nashville will be okay. And
yes,
just like your first guest there, John Krause, they haven't lost a beat. They got a young team, and they've stepped back in. And I did get to see Pinckneyville he was talking about, and they are a very good ball club, Pinckneyville.
Well, that's 2-0 as far as being impressed with the Panthers. So I guess no shocker, but it'll be a fun year.
Well, hey, good luck to all the area teams around, and thanks for having me on, Rip. And give me a call again sometime, and we'll talk some more hoops.
We'll do it. Hey, appreciate it. Catch you later on.
All right, we'll see you.
That's Jay Miller. If I didn't say it, I'm going to now. Scores and Stuff, along with Jay Miller, was brought to you by Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle. That's right, Isaac Auto Body. They're just a step and a jump from, well, what tonight is the Carlisle Meat Market Studio. But Isaac Auto Body in Carlisle, be sure and see them for 24-hour towing and collision repair. They have you covered. We're back with the flashback and other stuff on Talkin' Sports for a Wednesday.
Insuring your home and auto with Pekin Insurance equals a sizable discount. Farmers State Bank Insurance Department may save you as much as 30% on homeowners premiums and up to 15% on auto premiums if you insure both with Pekin Insurance. Call Farmers State Bank Insurance Department at 495-2965 for details about multi-policy discounts and learn what beyond the expected coverage and savings are all about.
Not a deposit, not FDIC insured, not insured by any federal government agency, not guaranteed by the bank, may go down in value.
Seaver Brothers has what you're looking for. Take a spin with Seaver Brothers and drive home in your new or pre-owned Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, or Dodge truck today. Let Seaver Brothers give you the car buying experience that no other dealership can offer. Seaver Brothers stands behind their products and also has an outstanding service department with qualified technicians to keep your vehicles running strong. Stop by Seaver Brothers, 811 Washington Street in Carlisle, or call 594-2624 for your next Seaver Brothers sales associate.
Remember the good old days at the Speakeasy nightclub? Who's ready to party one more time? The final Speakeasy reunion, The Last Dance, is coming to the Aviston American Legion Saturday, December 30th, featuring the Bob Seger tribute band, the Silver Bullet STL, and an area favorite, Scooters. Get your tickets now and get ready for the final Speakeasy reunion, The Last Dance. Call 974-9735. That's 974-9735. It's your last chance. It's the last dance. It's the final Speakeasy reunion. Saturday, December 30th at the Aviston American Legion. Call 974-9735. That's 974-9735. Party one more time at the Speakeasy.
Flying in the face of conventional wisdom.
There's no rules and no laws and lots of litter.
Every day.
This is Max 96.7.
Hello. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on your Wednesday night. Yes, this is the midweek edition. We're here every Monday and Wednesday from 6 to 7. Saturday mornings, 9 until 10 o'clock. The time, you want to know the time, it's 6:39. And that time drop is brought to you by Breeze Furniture, Jan's Uniforms. Let's flashback.
It's flashback.
Get ready to flash back with the Easy In Travel Sports Flashback. Escape to paradise with Easy In Travel and Breeze. Call 526-2201.
This is from January 2nd of this year. It's Carlisle High grad Brad Coons on his most recent return to Miami for yet another Hurricanes bash.
It was the 15-year anniversary of our national championship game.
Man, that had to be cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. You know, I got to see a lot of the guys that were were on our team, and I mean there were some of them there that we missed that weren't there, but just seeing some of those NFL guys that you haven't seen in a while, and some people have changed really much, some people that haven't changed much at all, and it's just it's really cool to be back around those guys. Unfortunately, we lost that game. That was the only bad part about it.
Okay. Jeremy Shockey, he made it, didn't he?
Oh yeah, he was there. And, it was good to see him again, and just to hear his voice and him talking exactly the same way he used to with the Oklahoma accent, and just to catch up a little bit. And I mean, there were a lot of guys there. It was the second time I ever got to meet Michael Irvin, which was really cool. He was there at the game, and but yeah, just a great experience. And it wasn't the same because we weren't playing at the Orange Bowl where we used to play. Cause that's been torn down. But playing at the newly what is it? It's totally remodeled Hard Rock Stadium. It's the coolest name for a stadium, Hard Rock Stadium. But it's just totally redone, and it was really nice.
Companies are hiring again. That's good news. Bad news, you don't have the skills they're looking for. Kaskaskia College can fix that. KC's welding technology program can set you up with the skills industries are looking for. More good news, classes are available at KC's Trenton Center or Crisp Technology Center. Call Sean Morris at 545-3406. The demand is there, the pay is there. Where are you? Kaskaskia College, your future starts here. Planning a remodel or building a new home? Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton can get you started. Ideal Home Solutions has quartz, granite, solid surface, and laminate, with granite starting at just $49 per square foot. Ideal Home Solutions proudly sells Haas cabinets and specializes in custom showers, any size to fit your space. From tubs, whirlpools, vanity tops, windowsills, you're covered. Schedule a free in-home estimate today, 224-2500, or see their showroom at 102 West Broadway in Trenton. WCXO Sports is now available everywhere you go at WCXO967.com. Listen to our WCXO Sports broadcasts, including Talkin Sports with Rip. Check out WCXO967.com. Click on the Sports tab, then on Live Sports Broadcasts, and it will take you to our WCXO Sports YouTube channel. Experience WCXO Sports wherever you go. And make sure to subscribe to our WCXO Sports YouTube channel for notifications when we are live with sports broadcasts, including our broadcasts of the boys and girls high school basketball season. It's your community, your sports teams, your radio station. Max 96.7 WCXO and WCXO967.com.
Scientists say the universe is random.
Why should your radio station be any different?
You've got Max 96.7.
Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio, and it's time to remind you about something, okay? Take note of this. Because at some places, some car buying, well, it kind of sucks, okay? That doesn't hold true at all at Diane Chevrolet. They respect your time, for one thing. You don't have to be there for hours upon hours unless you want to hang out, enjoy some popcorn or coffee, stuff like that. That's all good. And they're going to get to know your needs and help you find the right vehicle so you can make an informed decision. Financing options are easy, too. There's absolutely no pressure to buy. You got it. They work for you. See Diane for your next vehicle and see how easy it is to get behind a wheel that you can be proud of, the wheel of a great car at Diane Chevrolet. DianeChevrolet.com. Wayne Hari is on deck.
When's the last time you had your eyes checked? Schedule an eye exam today at Breeze Family Vision Center or Lebanon Optometric Center. I'm Dr. Claire Thorpe-Klinsky, and if it's been more than a year, you might need a new prescription. If you use a computer regularly or are suffering from allergies, those both can be causes of eye strain or fatigue. Schedule a complete eye health exam today to find out if your eyes are healthy. We may be able to detect glaucoma and other eye diseases early. At Breeze Family Vision and Lebanon Optometric Center, we examine more than just your vision.
McKendree University is a great place to continue your sports career. It's also a great place to continue your education. McKendree offers a wide range of degrees, including master's degrees in business, nursing, education, and professional counseling. If you'd like, you can access McKendree's quality education through the flexibility of online degrees. To learn more about McKendree, log on to McKendreeOnline.com or call 1-800-BEARCAT. McKendree University is ready when you are.
If you're looking for Nissan quality, be sure to check out what Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia has to offer. Munkin's has the entire field covered with a great lineup of Nissans, including Maximas, Altimas, and Sentras, SUVs and crossovers, and Titan and Frontier trucks. And you can relax when you shop Munkin's because you know you're getting the better deal every time, along with terrific service after the sale. For your Nissan, log on to Munkin1.com, or better yet, visit Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan in person, Route 161 West in Centralia.
For a truly affordable and all-inclusive senior living experience unlike any other, come to Legacy Place in Breeze, offering exceptional and professional care. Legacy Place delivers kindness and compassion to residents with independent, assisted living, or memory care services. Legacy Place offers luxurious and comfortable home-like living with fireplaces, activity areas, cafes, salons, and much more. Call 526-9600 for a free tour at Legacy Place.
What were we thinking when we designed the station? I'll tell you. We were thinking it takes all sorts to make a world.
Max 96.7.
Hello, everybody, for one final important block. Rip here in the Carlisle Meat Market Studio on this Wednesday. Incidentally, Saturday morning, one of our guests include, well, from Bartelsville, modern day USC Upstate Volleyball standout indeed, Maddie Hockey. And next Monday night, one of our booked guests already is Tom Michael, the former Illini basketball standout, three-point, you name it. Man, he was good. And, of course, he's the current Eastern Illinois athletic director. So Maddie and Tom ahead on Saturday and Monday, among others. And among our others on tonight's show, we tracked down the Tucker Electric guest line for Nashville Hornets basketball coach Wayne Hari. Wayne, welcome back.
Hey, Rip. Good talking to you.
Good to talk to you, and you return in a new capacity. We've had you on as an athletic director, as a girls hoops coach, as a scores and stuff expert, and now you head up the boys' effort. So an official congrats to you, Wayne, because it's here for real now.
Yeah, that's for sure. We had a opening tournament over there at Mascoutah Westland tournament, and got things going over there, and learned some things about our team, and trying to get better about our team, and trying to get me back in the swing of things a little bit here. So it was a learning experience for me, for sure.
But we'll say this: there's girls basketball, boys basketball, but there's a difference. It's like two different sports, isn't it? Especially from your angle.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, the boys' games are a lot faster pace and stronger, and you just usually have more kids that can do more things out there than the girls' side. It's just one of those things that's just the way it is, and they're just more balanced. Usually, the boys got a little more balanced overall team. Sometimes, mostly, what they've got on. The boys can usually do a little bit more than the girls, so usually. And that's not taking anything away from the girls. The girls,
no.
Good girls can do some things too. There's no question about it. But it's just a different sport, and you got to coach it a different way a little bit. And we're trying, and we got a long way to go. We're not near where we need to be, and or where we should be, or where I'd like us to be. And guys are trying, and we're not like a Hornet team that we've had here maybe 8-9 years. We're not very tall, and we have to work extremely hard for everything we have that we have to do, either defensively or get a bucket. We just don't have the big kid inside, and a lot of here in Nashville you always used to have that. We just don't have that, so. So we've got some adjusting to do, and the kids are trying to adjust without that big guy inside.
I think it's going to pan out okay. And, of course, this is nothing you're You were a star player for Nashville in your days, and you were an assistant for a long time on the Hornets squad as well. And I, for one, just think the timing is great. And hey, I've told you before, I've been looking forward to this, and that's not at the expense of Coach Weathers or Coach Lee, but nothing to their detriment. But I wanted to see if you did get that opportunity to coach the Hornets. So we've come full circle, and yeah, so far so good. You grabbed a split of 4 games and second place at the Mascoutah tip-off tournament. We had Coach Brady on from the Westland Warriors the other night, and he liked that event. And I understand it's going to flip-flop between Trenton and Mascoutah every year.
Yeah, it's 5 pretty good teams in there, especially this year. I mean, I think the Coach Brady would tell you is every game was tough for everybody. We were sure we'd like to win more games, but we were hoping just to win some games in there. Every game was a battle for us to win, and we didn't win that first one, but then to come back and win 2 out of 3 was not bad, especially in the same week. We had to play 3 games in that short period of time, and that's pretty tough. You're playing Columbia,
it is
playing Columbia, Mascoutah, and Westland. That's a pretty tough chore in a short period of time, and to get 2 wins out of there, that was okay. I mean, to get that we'll have to live with that, and then it doesn't get any easier for us. We're playing Anna and Jabot this coming weekend. Anna's probably the best team they've had in 10 years there, and they're undefeated. They're 5-0.
Good athletes.
And they got and they got the Parr kid, and he's averaging about 35 a game. So they're legit. We saw them play. So tough schedule for the Hornets, and but it's that's the way it is for everybody, and it's very competitive around here, and we'll just have to see how it goes.
Westland is also legit, aren't they, Wayne?
I talked to Coach Brady a little bit after the game, and I told him, I said, you are very solid. I mean, they're like clones. I mean, they're all about the same size, and can all do about the same thing, and they can match and match with anybody. They can guard quick people. They can guard the post, and I think what's very underrated with them, and that's my opinion, is I think their defense is very good because they're long and they're hard to shoot over, and because they can switch out. They pick and roll. They can switch on you, and it doesn't bother them. It looks like to me they got in the weight room and from last year, and they got bigger and stronger, and they're legit. They're going to be a tough out, and they have a chance this year. There's no question.
Meanwhile, the Hornets won 21 a year ago, went to the sectional finals, and yeah, it's a team in some transition. They're the new coach, and of course a roster turnover. You lost some of that thunder in and out, but the cupboard's not empty, is it? I know Bryce Boltman for one returns, and a couple Parkers, I guess, Brandon Schnitker. So you've got some kids to work with.
Yeah. We lost 4 starters last year. And they're all 4 seniors, and 4 senior starters. When you try to replace that, it's going to take some time. They had some kids that really never got a whole lot of varsity minutes, and of course, Bryce is our returning starter, and we look to him to, do a lot of good things for us. But when you're playing some younger kids or playing some kids that haven't got a whole lot of varsity minutes, it's a whole different level when you're playing from the JV to the varsity. It's that way. It's that way in girls or whatever it is. It's just a different game, and so it's a chore for him to learn to play every possession, which we were trying to do here, and grind games out, things like that, and it's a learning experience for him. And we're playing some younger kids. We're playing. We got a few seniors that are learning. Sickard injured himself in the tournament, so he didn't play against Mascoutah, and And then I think he's going to play this weekend. We're hoping. He doesn't know yet. We're still looking at him. So we were really down to not many older kids. We're playing a lot of juniors and a lot of sophomores. So that's pretty tough. And but if they're all, my situation was you learn that from when old Coach Cruz was around. If they're on the varsity, it doesn't make any difference if they're sophomores or freshmen or juniors. They're varsity players, so you treat them like
you're right. Exactly right. And they're going to get better and tougher from this opening week experience over at Mascoutah and such. So, and you'll get deeper and deeper, and you'll get more confident in going with those kids off the bench too. And I guess Coach Krause kind of alluded to that early tonight as well. Yeah,
I mean, you're trying to get them in there so they get the experience, because down the road you're going to have them, and you're trying to get them some playing time in there. So you don't want to just throw them out against certain situations and they're not successful. So you're trying to mix and match so they can have some success, because you don't want to lose their confidence. So it's kind of a fine line. You put them in there against some tough people and then they lose confidence and it's hard to get them back. So, so it's a tough chore trying to get them playing time, but you have to get them playing time. So it's pretty tough early in a year like this.
But you kind of adhere to the old Whitey Herzog theory there, especially early on. You try and put the players in a situation where they have a good chance to succeed.
Yeah, I mean, we sure would.
If possible.
If possible. It's tough sometimes, because sometimes that other team's awful good.
That's right. There's an opponent out there that can dictate some things once in a while. It ain't golf, is it, Wayne?
No, you're not.
There's
it's
defense.
Not the individual. It's not that. That's right. Exactly. But you got to try to get some people stopped, and then you got to try to put the ball in the basket. So, it's a fine line with what you can do and what you can't do. So we're still looking at some people and trying to get a little more depth on our bench, and playing some younger kids. So, but we're working at it, and we're sure hoping that we can get better as the year goes on.
And it's a challenging schedule, as it is every year, in conference and out. And hey, before it's in January, but it got me thinking about, because you will face the Rockets there, if not sooner. You got the Mater Dei tournament, as the Rockets do, and of course they have their tournament. You have the NIT. You're going to log a lot of quality court time against some good clubs.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, our schedule this year, it's strange, because year in and year out, our schedule's probably one of the better ones around here. But this year, especially, we were the team that lost 4 starters, 4 senior starters, and everybody else seems like they've got everybody. Most of the people ever got everybody back. I know those lost, a couple of people that were awful good, but other than that, everybody's pretty well got everybody back, and so we're trying to catch them, and it's usually kind of not like that around here. So it's kind of a transition period where we're trying to get to them. In our conference, especially in our conference, I don't think anybody really lost anybody that's significant that's going to make a difference. They've got everybody back, and so we're our conference from top to bottom is probably one that's from years past, it's probably one of the better it's been for a long time. I think, besides Pingville, I think Pingville's pretty well, kind of above the most everybody, but the rest of everybody else is pretty well together. And so it's with our schedule the way it is now, and the tournaments that we're in, it's a big chore for us this year. There's no question about it. With the young kids that we're playing now, next year we'll be a little bit older, so it makes a little difference.
2 additionals for you here, Wayne. Jordy, she's a walk-on at SIUE. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Fantastic.
She made the decision that she wanted to play basketball again, and I told her, and I said, "Now, Junior, are you sure you want to do this?" I said, I went through this thing at Southern. I said, it's a tough chore. You're going to be put through a lot of stuff, and you're going to have to handle it. She goes, "Yeah, Dad, I think I want to do it." So she worked out all summer and got a tryout with them, and tried out in front of the coaches, and first they said, "Well, you made the team," and then she called me and said, "Dad, I made the team." I said, "Well, does that mean you get to travel, or what does that mean?" And she goes, "Well, I don't know." I said, "Well, maybe you need to find out." Well, she didn't say anything, so she kept fraction, and then a week later they got her in a circle and told her that, hey, you made the team, you worked hard enough, and so she was pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
And I said, that's what it's all about, and so she's enjoying it. She doesn't, she's not really playing a whole lot, but she just want to be there and be part of it, and she's enjoying herself right now.
That's very, very cool. And finally, how's Wendy Jo doing, your other daughter?
She's doing good today. She had surgery today, and she's a little sore, but she's doing better. And she's always a battler. She's a battler. She battles every day, and but she's doing better, and we're happy about that. And so her spirits are, besides pain, but she's in pretty good spirits, so we're happy about that.
Prayers are up, Wayne. That's great news, though.
Thanks, Rip. Appreciate that a lot, man. You know that. All
righty. Hey, thanks for coming on. Stay by that cell phone. We'll dial you up now and then.
You know it. I'll be here. If it's not here, we'll be in the tractor. You know that. That's not a problem. You know that.
Jason Aldean, you guys are tight.
You got it.
Next time you come on, you're going to sing that.
Yeah, there you go. We'll get that opening song.
I love it that way. All right. Appreciate it.
Okay, Rip. Thank you.
That's Wayne Hardy. Thanks to him, and also to John Krause and Jay Miller. Stuffed in between. Saturday morning, it's Matty Hockey. Plus, and Monday night, Tom Michael. We'll see you Saturday between 9 and 10 on Talking Sports, Real Sports Talk on Max 96.7 WCXO.
Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7 was powered by Hoffman Supermarket, the only choice for quality meats and friendly service. Talkin' Sports was brought to you by Munkin Dodge Chrysler Jeep Nissan and Centralia. Kaskaskia College, the future's yours at Kaskaskia College. Emin Insurance Agency in Carlisle. Farmers State Bank of Hoffman, Central City and Hoyleton. Diane Chevrolet in Trenton. McKendree University in Lebanon, Ideal Home Solutions in Trenton, Farmer State Bank Insurance Department in Hoffman, Seaver Brothers in Carlisle, and by Becker Jewelers with locations in Breeze and Highland and always online at beckerjewelers.com. Thank you for joining us for this WCXO sports presentation of Talkin' Sports on Max 96.7. This broadcast was a presentation of WCXO Sports.